All right, what's going on, Cowboy fans? It's Slam back talking about our Dallas Cowboys who are starting training camp in Oxnard, California for the 2018 season, and football is right around the corner finally. Even though this summer is flying by, it never goes by fast enough for me to get to football season, but we're almost here. We got, you know, over a month and probably a half before we see some real football, but we're on our way, man. We're on our way. So before we get into anything, I do just want to kind of preface this video by saying I'm going to be kind of rambling about this team in training camp right now. It's not going to be nice like a radio show where they have a nice progression talking about what they're going to talk about. I'm just going to be all over the place, kind of rambling about the Cowboys. So hopefully you guys can stick with me. And if you're new to the channel, I will say this as well. I do also put gaming videos up from time to time talking about the Cowboys. I should be putting up about 2 videos a week once the season really starts, a gaming video and a Dallas Cowboys video. We'll talk about the game before the game and after the game, and then, like a gaming video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you do, hit that subscribe button and hit the like button. I would really appreciate it. And maybe we could build a nice little community here together. So let's dive in. We'll start talking about this football team going this year. I haven't made a ton of videos talking about the draft or free agency or anything like that. I let the talking heads on NFL Network and ESPN do that for you, because they're all going to tell you how good this team did in the draft, how bad this team did, A+, F over here, before these guys even put on shorts for minicamp. So it's all nonsense. You got to wait until the season for to actually see these guys play before we're judging anything. And I know they have to do that because they need time. They need to fill time on TV. So it's just something fun to talk about. But I don't get involved in that. People get pissed off when somebody gives them a bad grade. Like, I remember Mike Mayock years ago when the Cowboys drafted Frederick. He's like, oh my God, I got this guy going in like the 3rd or 4th round. Yeah, the guy turns out to be all pro like every freaking year. So you don't even listen to these guys. You know what I mean? Wait until you see these guys. You can learn a lot from watching those talking heads because they'll show you film breakdown, what he's good at, things like that. So that's fun to do. But you can do that yourself. You can get on YouTube, go find highlights of these guys, watch it yourself, man. These people are they talking heads. That's all they are. That's it. Let's just jump into it. Now, I'm not going to pretend to know everything about this team. I am a fan. I don't know everything about the game of football by any stretch of the imagination. I know what I know. I know what I think is good when I see it. When I see something bad, I'll call that out. You know what I mean? I don't want to look at this team through rose-colored glasses every week saying, oh, win, 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 win. You know what I mean? But I will tell you why I'll be confident going into every football game this season, and that's Ezekiel Elliott and this offensive line. Even though the offensive line, there could be, there's some changes going on here on the offensive line. As let me just take a go to here to the depth chart just so I have it in front of me. But they drafted that kid Connor Williams and signed Cameron Fleming. So Tyron Smith with his back it could be a problem. So you get depth with Fleming there. Lyle Collins can play right tackle. He can play left guard, which I prefer him at the left guard position because he was so dominant in that spot a couple years ago, just pancaking like 2-3 guys a play. I mean, if you go back and look at some highlights of him that year, amazing football. It was just great to see him just laying people out downfield. Amazing. The guy's quick too. He can move, which is great. I'd rather have him at the guard spot, let him pull, do weird stuff like that. That would be great to see. So I hope he wins that battle there at left guard, which I think he will. I don't think you really want to throw a rookie out there unless he's wowing the coaching staff. You know what I mean? I would rather see Lyle Collins play left guard and let Fleming play the right tackle, and we move forward. But that's really the main reason I'm going to feel confident every single football game this year. Ezekiel Elliott on the field with this offensive line. Now, there was a big black cloud hanging over him all last season until he finally just kind of gave up his lawsuit. He really was running out of options. I don't think he had many left to go. And the NFL and Roger Goodell got their pound of flesh, and he was suspended for 6 games for something the guy says he didn't do. The police did not press charges against him. And, from reading the text messages from his crazy-ass girlfriend, I believe Zeke. I don't, but we weren't there. They did their investigation. There was some shady stuff going on in that investigation from the NFL, but he ended up getting the 6-game suspension anyway. That's over with. It's done with. That's not hovering over the team. Everybody's not answering questions about it every single week. Will Zeke play? Will he not play? This, that, the other thing. It's over. Okay? So this man can just play football this year, and hopefully he just keeps his head on straight. He did this whole offseason. I really didn't hear any news from Ezekiel Elliott, so that was definitely a plus. But yeah, he looks like he's in great shape. I know there was a lot of people last year saying Zeke was fat, overweight. I mean, he didn't look like me, but he did look a little chunkier, man. And, you know, that burst didn't seem to be there like it was the year before. I'm not calling him fat. I got no business calling anybody fat. So, but he did look a little slower, if I'm being honest. You know what I mean? But this year he looks fantastic. Looks like he's in top shape. I can't wait to get him back on this football field with this team all season long with this offensive line, and of course, Dak Prescott, who I think is going to have a really, really good season. His rookie season was fantastic. The Cowboys did such a great job with him, and I'm expecting something similar to that. Maybe not that great, because he set records throwing a football without throwing a pick. So I don't know if you'll see that type of play from Dak Prescott, but I want to see something close to that for sure. There's one coach who we praised the hell out of 2 years ago, Linehan. Okay? 2 years ago, the man could do no wrong, basically. He was calling phenomenal games pretty much all year with a couple hiccups here and there, but last year it seemed to be not as good during, calling games last year. So I'm going to be looking at that specifically. Just run the ball, man. It's that simple. Stop outguessing yourself down on the goal line, throwing 3 times, or running the ball only 1 time. Stuff like that is going to irritate me to no end. You got to run the football in those positions. 3 downs on the goal line. I don't care. Run it every single time. If you can't get that half yard, you know what? You don't deserve points. All right? With the back you have and the offensive line, you don't deserve points if you can't put the ball over the goal line, in my opinion, in that situation, It's just, that's one thing. That's another thing I'm going to be watching is Linehan this year, and his play calling. Because 2 years ago, like I said, the guy could do no wrong. He couldn't. And last year, it seemed like I was bashing him. I didn't make videos last year, but to me and my brother and my father, basically, that's what we were talking about a lot, So I'm going to be looking at that. Also, I'm going to be looking at Byron Jones exclusively at cornerback. I can't wait. Just concentrate on playing one position instead of every position. You know what I mean? What's the old saying? Jack of all trades, master of none. No more for Byron Jones. Master the cornerback position, be a cornerback, and I can't wait to see him. I think he's going to be really, really, really good. As we all know, he's been a solid player for this team, and I questioned them when they drafted him, because those guys that bounce up the depth chart, or at the combine or the draft chart, that scares me because of their athletic ability they show at the combine. But he's worked out. He's been a really, really solid player. The other thing I wanted to mention was Sean Lee. Do you guys put this in the comment section? I'm curious to know your thoughts on this. I don't want him playing 1 snap in the preseason. I really don't. Just keep the guy on the sideline. He's a vet. He knows what he's doing. They're going to put him out there, I feel like, anyway. I haven't seen anything or read anything that they're not or they are. If it's even a question, I'm raising the question right now. Do you think Sean Lee should play in the preseason, or do you put that guy in bubble wrap? Because this defense without Sean Lee, if you look at the records last year, without him, I don't even know, they win 1 game without him? I can't remember, but it's definitely something like that. It's like 1 in 6, whatever it may be. Without him, that's insane. The defense just didn't look the same without him. So that's something I want to see. Keep that guy healthy. Keep his reps low. Even in practice. Obviously he's got to be out there practicing, but we gotta keep him healthy. We really, really do. Anything else I wanted to talk about? that I was thinking about. Oh yeah, okay. I wanted to talk about Jason Garrett, and I feel like this is the end of the process for me for Jason Garrett this football season if he doesn't go deep in the playoffs. That this is from me. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but this is exactly how I feel about it. I'll be done with Jason Garrett if this team doesn't make the playoffs this year, and I don't think Jerry and Steven and Will McClay will replace Garrett even if he doesn't, unless it's a bomb of a season. I think they're going to stick with him anyway, but I'm going to be done with him. I'm going to defend him this year, depending on how this thing goes and everything's playing out. But I've defended him in years past when he had bad seasons. People got hurt, things like that, which, you lost your quarterback a bunch of times. It doesn't help your record by any means. So that's just something that I just wanted to throw out there and see what you guys thought about it as well. I think Jason Garrett, this could be the last year for me if he does not get this team into the playoffs this year. I could be done with him. I think it could be time to, like I said, if he doesn't make the playoffs. If he does, and this team responds in the playoffs, then fine. But sometimes a change is good, and it's not just a change for change's sake. It's the message isn't getting through, which 2 years ago it looks like the message was. So I feel like if after this year they don't make the playoffs and there's not crazy injuries, knock on wood, and we're not in the playoffs, then the message may not be getting received by the players anymore, and it might be time for a change. But we'll have to wait and see on that stuff. But I've been talking for 12 minutes about this football team already. I don't want to take up too much of your guys' time. So I'm going to end the video right there. But definitely put in the comment section what you think about Sean Lee not getting really any reps in any of these preseason games. Like, I don't want him to at all, but it'll probably happen anyway. And the Jason Garrett question. What do you think about Jason Garrett? Are you ride or die with him, through hell or high water? You want to keep him even if he doesn't make the playoffs this year? Or just put it in the comment section. I'll be sure to respond to you guys. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Probably after the first preseason game, I'll make another video, and we'll talk about what we saw and everything like that. But again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.